Before we start this Bucs talk, I want to say rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man. Rest in peace, Nip. That's crazy. What up, people? First thing I want to do is send prayers up to the family of Nipsey Hussle, man. His kids, his wife or fiance, and everybody that knew him, everybody that loved him. I love Nipsey Hussle, man. I play his music all the time, listen to him all the time. It's crazy, man. Life's so damn short, man. You never know, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get to this weekend review. We got a lot to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about, man. It's, as we get closer to this draft, man, it's heating up. Everything heating up. So we got a whole lot to go through, man. This list has just kept growing and growing as the week went on. So I know we started off on a somber note, but I feel as though it's something I got to do. You know what I mean? I gotta recognize Nip Hussle, man. Look him up if you don't know who he is. First things first. Shout out to Gene Deca. Now, Bucs fans should know who Gene Deca is. He called all the games. He was calling all the games for the Bucs, man. That voice is iconic, man. I can remember like listening to the Bucs broadcast and the game commentary and just getting used to hearing his voice, man. He had a very unique voice. He had a very unique skill and ability to call those games. You know, all those different commentators that call the game, they all got their little spin. And if you in that city and you rep that team, you can recognize your commentators that call your games. But none of them was like Gene Deca, man. He ain't dead or nothing, but he gonna get it done in the entire Hall of Fame. So we definitely got to shout him out. Now let's move on to some signings. Well, one in particular. We signed Blaine Gabbert. Now let me be clear, right? That boy there, trash. Oh man, he trash. This guy, Blaine Gabbert, oh my God. Yo, I think he only in the building cause he know the offense. He in the building for his mind. It definitely ain't got nothing to do with his play. That boy is trash. Oh my goodness. When they signed Blaine Gabbert, I was like, who? Blaine Gabbert? Blaine Gabbert? Yes, that boy, garbage. Oh my goodness. I was like, y'all wasting money now. Y'all wasting money now. That's crazy that boy is so garbage. But he on the team and he's a smart quarterback as far as knowing the offense. He wouldn't get the start over Ryan Griffin. Ain't no fucking way. It just ain't no way, man. Like that boy trash. But it looked like we're gonna keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster, so we'll see. But I just want to make sure y'all understand that he is complete and utter trash. Now, did y'all get a chance to see that hour-long interview from Brewster God? He had a lot of nuggets in that thing there, man. A lot of nuggets. Now, we're not going to go through everything, but I want to mention some things that stood out to me. Now, a lot of it stood out to me, but I ain't going to mention it all in the video. But one of the things that really stood out to me is his talk about Chris Godwin. He said Chris Godwin ain't going to come off the field. Now, obviously, he's going to come off the field, but basically what he's saying is he's going to be working into this offense something crazy. And I told y'all last video, Chris Godwin is set for a breakout year, man. Breakout year. He was stifled because of Deshaun Jackson. But Deshaun gone. And we're going to lean on him real heavy. Teams better prepare for Chris Godwin. I'm going to tell you that right now. He the next best thing in Tampa, and he going to be the next best thing in the NFL. Watch how we use him. Shout out to you, Chris. You better bring your catching hands, because the ball going to come your way a lot. I don't think he's going to be able to fill the role that Adam Humphrey filled per se, but he got good hands, man, and he big, and he can catch, and he don't drop a lot of passes, man. He gonna be, man. I just hope he stay healthy, and we're gonna run him all season. He gonna be a good part of our game plan. So you better watch it. Y'all don't know this, NFC South. You better draft somebody, because you ain't got nobody on your roster that can guard both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You ain't got nobody on your roster. You ain't got enough corners. So you gonna have to get you another corner, a fast corner. And then I told y'all last video we had Brashard Breeman on the outside too with the speed. You're gonna have to get you another good corner. You're gonna have to, because I looked at the NFC South rosters and you ain't got enough corners. Carolina ain't got enough corners. Atlanta ain't got enough corners, and the Saints ain't got enough corners. They don't got it. They don't got enough. So key in on Chris Gabbert. Don't forget about Mike Evans. I'm just saying. Now, let's take a little detour real quick off of the Bucs. Greg Schiano. So you mean to tell me you go up there, you join the champions, at least the current champion, New England Patriots, and that man hire you as the defensive coordinator and you step down? You had to do something crazy. You had to be out there wilding. You had to be. You set up. You could have took over the Patriots. You know that? Because Greg Schiano got that same kind of like hard-nosed, no bullshit kind of style by this coaching. Man, you could have been under Bill Belichick. Yeah, I call him Bill Belichick. You could have been under Bill Belichick for about 2 years. And these Patriots coaches, they always get head coaching jobs. Always. They always get head coaching jobs just because they're part of the Patriots staff. So if you was trying to look for a way to get back in the NFL and be a head coach, you were set up. You were set up to possibly win a ring. You were set up to possibly take over the Patriots and definitely get you another head coaching gig. And you stepped down. Boy, you did something weird. I'm going to tell you that. You did something weird. That's why you stepped down. You didn't want it ain't came out yet. But you done did something weird. People say, oh, you might have been arguing with Bill. No, you did something funny. And Bill Belichick was like, I'm going to have to get rid of your ass because we can't have that. That ain't the Patriots way. And he was like, I'm just going to go on step down. You did something. It's going to come out. Glad we ain't bring you back. Anyway, moving on. So, on Monday starts the Buccaneer off-season program because we got a new coach. That means that we get to start early on our off-season program. Now, this is voluntary, so everybody ain't got to show up. I want y'all to pay attention to who show up and who don't. Pay attention, because that's got indications. That's got a lot of indications to who show up and who don't. So let's see. Let me see. Mike Evans. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Mike Evans. Restructuring your contract. So what they did was, looks like they moved $3 million of his $20 million and called that a bonus. Now, by doing that, they freed up $2.4 million in cap space. Now, we're going to talk about what they're about to do with that money here down the line. But shout out to you for being willing to do that, man. And that's why I like it. That's why I'm glad we signed you to a long-term deal. Because you're a team guy, man. And I like you for that. You're a team guy. All right. Another thing that Jason Light mentioned during his interview was Noah Spence playing linebacker. I like it. I like it. Because Noah Spence got the talent, the skill, the ability, but he just ain't been showing it, man. But in the Todd Bowles defense, he might be able to show it. I want to see what he look like playing linebacker, man. That's going to be interesting. Y'all watch that. If he stay healthy, y'all watch and see how he perform, man. They shaking things up already. I like what they doing. I want to see what it's going to look like. All right. And then they said Vernon Hargreaves is going to go back to the outside. They moved him inside because he wasn't that good outside. Then he keep getting hurt. I don't know what's wrong with him. Then they're going to move him to the outside, which means he's going to be one of our starting corners. We need some more corners. We got to get some more corners. I don't know how he's going to perform, but, man, we need some more corners. But I hope that because you had all that rest and you ain't played in a couple seasons that you come out on fire. I think you're going to be all right, though. You sat out long enough. Time to show and prove, man. And plus, you're going to be looking for a contract, too, so you better show out. What else they said? Oh, this running back, Wally. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's some African-ass name or whatever. He going to do kick return for us. That's going to be good, man. He's going to do kick return for us. And we ain't really never had a real good kick returner since Michael Spurlock. So, I don't know what they're going to do, man. We can't never seem to figure that out. I mean, we done drafted people specifically to do that. We done brought in free agents specifically to do that. We done took our wide receiver, Adam Humphreys back there to try to do it. We done put some of everybody back there, man, to try to get this damn return game going, man. Hopefully this might be the one. And we'll see, man. So y'all watch that, man. Pay attention to that. See how he do. I'm going to definitely keep my eye on that. Because I don't think he the answer neither. But we'll see. They know better than me. Speaking of running backs, we are shopping Rojo. So we spent the pick. Second round pick. Yeah, I think it was second round. To get Rojo. And then you came out and said, well, he didn't really get a chance, is basically what you were saying. And now we shopping him? But we need running backs. So what you trying to do? Why would you shop him? We don't even know what he look like. Maybe that's your mystique, though. You might be trying to go at teams like, hey, he good, you know. They just ain't using him like they need to use him. But we need some money, so we need some, we need some picks. So y'all take him. He good. I don't know. But that's kind of weird, man. When we need running backs and you're going to get rid of our second round pick and he ain't even get a chance? That's weird, man. I don't know. But anyway, that's the rumors. Oh, you do know this. During the draft process, teams can bring in up to, I think, 20 players for a visit. So I know the Bucs fans going to like the fact that Devon White came in for a visit. Now, sometimes they bring people in for a visit just to kind of see what the top talent looking like, right? Because we're going to have to play some of these teams, and they're going to be able to kind of know about some of these top players in case we got to face them. So sometimes they bring them in for that. Sometimes they bring them in for a smoke screen. Kind of throw everybody off. You don't know what we're going to do. We bringing in Devon White. They like, okay, that's definitely the pick. And sometimes they bring them in because that's who they think about picking. Now, the Tampa Bay fans want Devon White. The large majority. I like Montez Sweat, but we'll talk about that when I do my draft video. But they brought him in for a visit, man. So we'll see. And sometimes teams won't even bring a player in that they're going to draft. They won't even bring them in to throw players off the scent. Throw the GMs off the scent. They won't even bring them in. They'll just draft them. He'd be like, I ain't never even talked to them, and they draft me. So I don't know, man. Bruce Arians been doing this for a long time, though. He been around football for a long time, so he know what he doing. And that's why the Glazers kept Jason Light. Because I was wondering why they ain't fire him. But they came out and said that they kept him for stability. Basically saying he built talented rosters. They just wasn't coached right. So they blaming our lack of success on the coaching. And they said that they left him for stability because bringing in another GM and another coach is shaking the whole thing up. That always results in like multiple years of trying to get right. So they just rather keep Jason Light there because he did put a talented roster together. And I said that last year. last year was last year. I said that last year, that he putting together a good roster. They just ain't performing, man. And that happens. So, and let me tell you something, too. They brought in a dude named Byron Cowart. Now, here's the thing about Byron Cowart, because I remember him. Byron Cowart was highly sought after when he was in high school. And you know what high school he went to? He went to Armwood. If you're down there in Tampa, you know where Armwood at. I used to pass Armwood every day going to work. So many players, so many good players come out of Armwood High School. They're like a football factory down there. Shout out to Armwood, man. But if you go to that school and you're on a football program, you're gonna definitely go to get a good gig in college. And you gotta stand a good chance of going to the NFL. The problem is this dude is not good. I probably put him at like a 4th round, 5th round pick, something like that. 6th round pick. He a late round pick. Anybody got him higher than like a 4th round, man, they tripping. That dude is not that good, man. He ain't trash though. We can develop him, but I think they brought him in because they looking at him as for a later round pick. Anyway, look him up, man. He all right. He all right. He real physical. And if you look at some of his highlights, he's slamming the quarterback around and all that. Yeah, but the tape don't lie, man. He ain't consistent, but we brought him in. I thought that was important because it told me they're not done with the line. They're not done looking for young line talent, and they're gonna be looking late. Now this draft is full of defensive linemen. Matter of fact, it's more NFL quality defensive linemen than any other position in the draft this year. So that might be a late round pickup for us. Yeah, and 4th round is even high. Shit, I'm 5th or 6th round. He ain't that good. Oh, almost forgot. Now we making some money, right? We moving some things around to make some cap space. So that means we're gonna be trying to sign somebody. Now, Bucs fans, don't worry about this. Oh, we gotta have enough money to sign our rookies and all that. If we running out of money, look, don't worry about that. That money is set aside. That money is set aside to make sure we can sign our draft picks because of the CBA. They already know how much each draft pick at whatever position got to be paid. It's a chart, so you ain't even got to worry about that. So that money's set aside, so don't worry about that. But we clearing out some space to sign somebody. And here's my pickups for this week. You know, every week I give you good free agent pickups. This week I'm going to highlight T.J. Yeldon, the running back from the that used to be for the Jaguars. That's a very, very good pickup. He can catch, he can run good, he's versatile. He's a great, great pickup. Now he ain't gonna start for you. He can't start for you, but he can come in a role, right? He can come in a good role. So I think they might be clearing up some space and then getting rid of Rojo for a draft pick so they can bring in T.J. Yeldon. At least I hope that's what they're doing. Another good pickup that shouldn't cost too much money. Linebacker Brandon Marshall out of Denver. Now the thing about Brandon Marshall is he played in the 43 and the 34. And we're gonna be playing the kind of a hybrid defense anyway. Now we already got somebody from the Broncos in Shaq Barrett. This would be real good to bring in a guy that played with him in Brandon Marshall, man. Not the wide receiver Brandon Marshall, obviously, but the linebacker, man. That's a very good pickup if they could pick that up. And both our linebackers. Our linebacking core got to be strong. If somebody get hurt, if you play in the 34 and somebody get hurt and one of your linebackers get hurt, man, that can bust that whole thing up. You will see them switch to a 4-3 real quick. And another pickup that I want to highlight for y'all is Jalil, what's his name? Jalil Addy, safety for the Chargers. Real aggressive hitter, man. Real physical. It's not necessarily the skill per se, which he's a pretty good safety, don't get me wrong. And they only dropped him because they had to free up some money. But man, that'll be a great pickup at safety. We need safety help. So they still got a little money to play with. Don't count them out yet. And that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about for this week. Again, go back and watch that Bruce Arians and that Jason Light interview. Very good nuggets in them interviews. A lot stood out, like I said, and I mean, enough to deserve his own video. But at the same time, it's still talk, man. It's still talk. It's all talk. And I sat there and listened to that interview probably 2 or 3 times to pick up those nuggets, but it's just talk, man. Like, obviously he ain't gonna give you the game plan, right? But he gave you a lot of indications of what he planning on doing. And I definitely got wrapped around the axle when listening to it, but at the same time I was like, yeah, but that's talk, man. I got to see you do it. But I just feel like this season, this off season and this season we got coming up is going to be a very, very fun ride. It's going to be a fun ride to see how they make this happen and put this thing together. Jared McCoy is still on the chopping block, man. I think they trying to look to move Jared McCoy. That's big, big money we can save. Big money we can save. And this, I'm gonna tell you something. If he ain't gone by the draft, depending on how that draft shake out, he might be gone shortly after that. Cause somebody gonna need a veteran a veteran defensive lineman, and they ain't gonna get who they probably wanted to get in the draft, and they're gonna be itching to get Jared McCoy, and that's gonna save us some money, and we'll be able to pick somebody else up. I don't think Jared McCoy is gonna make it to game 1 as a Buccaneer. I just don't think so. Other than that, man, that's it. That's your weekend review of everything going on with the Bucs. Make sure you get in the comments and tell me what you think about this week. The sentiment was that the Bucs ain't really did nothing this week, but they did a whole lot. So tell me what you think. Tampa 2, if you ain't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You do not want to miss this season on Tampa 2 channel. You do not want to miss it, because this season is going to be crazy on this channel. The truth will be spoken. You know that. Blaine Gabbert, your ass is trash, boy.